Why, hello everybody. So welcome to another review as read. Today we'll be talking about Alex Ross's Justice. This is a self-contained comic by DC, and it's done in this fantastic art style, which basically has made the artist very famous. In fact, his first one was Kingdom Come, which is a fantastic comic, which probably I'll do a review in the future. His second was the world's greatest superheroes, and the third is Justice. Again, I am basically talking about compilation sets, as all these were released in separate individual comics, but I tend to like to read them as a compilation because it makes it easier, and more to say, I tend to borrow them from the library because I'm not that rich and I tend to find all my good comics in the library as big sets like this. So this is basically a story of what if the supervillains had become superheroes. They in the story, basically people like Lex Luthor, the Cheetah, Scarecrow, and Toyman and all start saving people en masse. They're giving life to the desert and all that. And don't worry, this is not spoilers because it's kind of mentioned almost straight away. And also, of course, them being villains and all, they become the good guys in the eyes of the media and everybody. And basically a world that doesn't need superheroes because the supervillains are doing that job. But under that tone, there is this plot going on, and they start targeting the superheroes like Superman, Wonder Woman, and all that. And basically, from there, how the whole situation is worked out. Basically, that is what Justice is all about. So, let us first go into the bads of the book. Basically, the bads of the book is, as always, with such a huge storyline and with superhero comics, you tend to always have some logical fallacies. As again, no spoilers, don't worry. By example, you see Brainiac in here, and as they always talk about, Brainiac he calculates every single possibility because he's a supercomputer and everything. But then somehow he isn't able to plan for the off chance of human error, should we say. And I find that kind of always a bit the rationale for things like that always a bit off because he's the supercomputer of the supers of computers. So that doesn't really fly me, but that's one of the fallacies. Number two, too many characters. Basically, the character of the story is basically based on the JLA cartoon series, to the best of my knowledge. And what happens is that there's so many characters you go into. Basically, let's see if I can find it. Basically, it's like the whole of the Justice League, and so you got a ton of characters that you don't really get time to devote your time into. Great art, as you can see. Obviously, this is just a small part of a 2-page spread, but basically, you got so many characters and only that much space, so you don't really get invested, especially in the third-rate characters, second-rate characters. They basically get a few panels and all. So basically, there's a lot of characters, and unlike Kingdom Come, which is the same theory there, the Justice League and everything, that one focused on Superman's story, and everybody was involved, and you got to know the story through Superman's eyes first and foremost. Where you basically they had a goal. This one's bad point is the JLA in general, not just Superman's story or Batman's story, and so you're jumping around a lot for each character. So it's not like in Kingdom Come, which was so good, really grabs you to a Superman's dilemma. This one just spreads a bit, although I must say it's still a good story. And I'll give the worst one. I think the biggest thing I didn't like was basically the Joker in this series, because it just felt like they had to include him. It's like some higher up told them you have to include the Joker, because basically, again, no spoilers, but the Joker, he's just there. Basically, I felt that, in my personal view, that he didn't need to be in the story, but that is my issue. So just letting you know, in my personal view, again, I can't give you the absolute reason because of the spoiler issue. So, but basically, that's my biggest issues with the book. The goods of it, obviously, as you can see, the art is amazing, as usual with Alex Ross. Alright, especially with anything with Superman and Shazam. because my brother's favorite character is Shazam. I'm of course my favorite character is Superman. So that the art is amazing. And another good is the storyline. Basically, is actually very. It has a good focus. I know I said just now it spreads a lot in terms of the characters, but the story itself does not suffer. The overall storyline is very satisfying. You do see the whole every one of the, for example, Green Lantern got a very good focus in the story, explaining how Jordan basically has the human element, but but the whole storyline is about that he's able to take the suffering. It's about human suffering and how it might be an essential evil to make you better people, and so it goes through that story. And Superman, about how even when it's hard for him. I like the part of the story where it says something like he is impenetrable by bullets and everything, but the problem is the people around him are not impenetrable. So how does he deal with it? Again, all these stories kind of mesh together, and the writing is actually very good because they actually managed to tie in all these storylines together. Again, it's not as good as Kingdom Come, but definitely I do not regret reading the book. So basically that's the goods of the book. It's a good storyline. Characters do get flushed out. You do feel for many of the characters. Although, again, like I said, there are many characters which also get a throwaway line or something like that. But of course, the main few you do feel their struggle. So yeah, basically, if you want to, if you have read Kingdom Come, which is a fantastic series in itself, get the compilation set. Basically, that is the great novella, in a way, of Alex Ross's comics. And think of Justice basically as a good action movie. It's good storyline, but it's a lot of fighting, a lot of bashing, and a lot of great scenes and art. So, in other words, go find it, take a read, because it's a very good story and great art. But if you only have time for one, go look for Kingdom Come by Alex Ross. Thank you very much. Till next word.